Now, as we all live longer and longer lives, the proportion of our population who will need nursing home care is going to rise. Well, today, Nursing Homes Ireland is holding its annual conference, and a key topic is the huge expansion that they say is going to be needed in the sector. We're going to be talking about that in just a moment, but alongside the conference, the Nursing Homes Ireland Care Awards are also taking place. And every year, an achievement award is given to one resident who's made outstanding progress in a nursing home. Our reporter, Aisling Riordan, went along to meet this year's winner.
Meet Tommy Mulvaney, a Meath man through and through. He loves horses, the GAA, and art is his most recent passion. Tommy, a bachelor, has been a resident of the Millbury nursing home in Navan since he had a stroke 3 years ago. He was only 66 years old at the time, and for an active man who was a mechanic, everything changed. Paul is a good friend of his.
The prognosis wasn't fantastic, but the work that Navan Hospital and Millbury here in particular have done with Tommy is nothing short of a miracle. They have brought him from everything being kind of gone to where he is now. Tommy knows exactly what you're saying, and the painting is a great release for Tommy.
And how do you know each other?
I got married very, very young to my sweetheart, and we lived right across the road from Tommy. That's about 30 years ago. Anytime anybody had a problem with a car, Tommy was the man. Tommy had a garage at the back of his house, and nothing was a problem. He was what you would call a proper mechanic.
And now, instead of cars, he's putting all his efforts into art.
Well, we started off, and I recognised that he can draw. He's actually better at drawing than I am, so I just let him do that. But I've taught him to paint, and also to look at the picture, whatever he's painting, and actually study what the shadows and the lights and all that kind of thing, because he tended to get a little bit carried away and just paint for the love of painting, if you like. But now he's studying more, and he's learned different brush strokes and how to mix paints. And it progresses all the time, so I think he's finding his own style now, so I interfere less and less with what he's doing.
Since then, Tommy has had an exhibition, and because of all his work, he has been chosen as the winner of the Resident Achievement Award at the Nursing Homes Ireland Care Awards for outstanding progress. What do you think about this award? Are you delighted?
Yes.
And so is everyone for him.
It's an absolutely fabulous achievement. We got news of this about 3 weeks ago, and the place has gone mad, Aisling, since this happened. Tommy's as cool as a cucumber. We're all high and we're all enjoying it, I have to say, but it's an absolute wonderful achievement. It couldn't go to a better resident.
And while the residents are getting ready for the minibus trip up to the awards in City West tonight, Tommy will continue to take it all in his stride.
Aisling Riordan reporting there, and many congratulations to Tommy. But I'm joined now by Gearóid Brennan from Nursing Homes Ireland. Gearóid, thanks a million for coming into us. I know your conference is taking place. We were talking there about the demographics. We're all getting older, we're all living an awful lot longer. Just what proportion of the population over 65 are likely to need a nursing home bed?
Well, currently there is approximately 4% of people over the age of 65 residing in long-term residential. Very, very, very low. That equates with 1 in 25 people. So
over the age of 65. Now, as we get older?
Well, as we get older then, over the age of 85, that rises to about 3 in 10.
3 in 10. It's still 30% of people over the age of 35 will need one of these beds.
The vast majority of people continue to live in their own homes and continue to end their lives where they wish in their own homes.
That's interesting, because I don't think that's the perception. We kind of think everybody's going to end up there sooner or later, but only 30% of the very,
it's a bit difficult to get that message out at times, so it
population.
Is. Yeah.
And can I ask you, Gearóid, how would those figures compare to other European countries? I mean, are we good at looking after our elderly at home?
Yes, we are good at looking after our own at home and endeavour to keep them there as long as possible. And, you know, we're here today for Nursing Home Ireland's annual conference, and we're there to provide a specific service to those people who can no longer live at home. But, like, our objective as a people is always to keep our elderly in their homes as long as possible, and we as an organisation fully support that. We're there to meet the need when that is no longer possible.
But then when we do look at the people who will need nursing home care, I mean, from your calculations, do we have adequate beds as the the demographics change and as we live longer and longer lives to cater to that 30%?
Yeah, no, we don't. The facts are that within 8 years, our over 65 population is going to rise by 200,000, and our over 85 population will rise by 8,000. By 30,000. So we're going to have 30,000 more people over the age of 85 in 8 years' time than we do today. And
about 10,000 of them will need beds.
Well, something less, about 8, we reckon. And the stock of beds are simply not going to be there to meet that need. And that's the big challenge facing our sector. I mean, our sector has made huge progress in the last 10 years. And we saw today with Tommy a very, very positive story of excellent care being delivered to enable someone to live a very fulfilling life in a residential care centre. But the problem is the beds are not going to be there for the future unless government action is taken and a strategy is formulated to enable that gap to be bridged.
And, Gro, I mean, during the boom, there was a lot of kind of tax breaks for nursing homes. A lot of people went into it as a business. What needs to happen now? Is it still as profitable as it was, or do you need now the government to kind of get involved and start funding the expansion?
Well, we need the government to come in and work with all the various stakeholders, and we've been looking for that for a significant period of time. A national forum we've asked for on long-term residential care, where all of the stakeholders, ourselves, the government, the Department of Health, it would obviously be led by the Department of Health, would come together and identify what are the needs for the future and how best can those be met, so that we're none of us operating in the dark. We can look forward, and with that confidence, then we can embark on a new build programme to ensure that the bed capacity that is required in 8 years' time and beyond is actually there to meet that need.
And would that be a kind of a public-private partnership, or should they be run privately, or do you have views on this?
We don't have strong views on it. We're there to support the sector in any way we can. We have demonstrated over the last 10, 20 years, that if the environment is created, we will come in there and provide the facilities. We've done that, and today, as represented by Millbury and many other nursing homes throughout the country, there are excellent care facilities there, and they can be added to going forward. The sector just needs certainty as to where it's all going.
And I mean, I suppose we can't talk about nursing homes without acknowledging the revelations in Lees Cross some years ago. Yeah. Do you believe at this point that HIQA has adequately addressed the concerns around patient care in nursing homes?
There's been huge progress in the last 10 years. Look, like any sector, we've had our failings, but the important thing, and HIQA would be propagating this thought as well, once you learn from them and move forward, that's the important thing. And I think we as a sector have. We've embraced the changes in regulations, the new standards produced by HIQA, and they've delivered fantastic results. And as we see today with the Care Award being delivered to Tommy and so many other excellent staff working in our sector today who will be the recipients of theirs later on this evening.
OK, well listen, Gaurav, thanks a million for coming in to us this morning.
Thanks, Keelan.